Alrighty, PG-13. Now, it is really cool that we're getting new O-ring figures from Super7, but you know, they're just a little bit off. They got smaller feet. I mean, you can look, but anyways, I like to have fun with my figures, and that's, you know, that's why I love to collect. So just for fun, here's the vintage Cobra Commander. Now I took apart this body, but you know, the Hasbro one that was just made, this one here, the colors are a little bit closer, because this one's, you know, the vintage fades over time, so clearly that doesn't, you know, a little bit off. But the vintage legs are in the are using on the waist piece here, and look at this. You get nice movement with the vintage legs. So again, these crotch pieces actually might work for the vintage figures. So that is a very interesting thing here. I mean, the leg motion's there. These legs are thicker. You can see the thickness, they're definitely thicker. Oh, his foot is a little bit narrower, but it's pretty close match there. So the leg size, yeah, it's just a slight thicker. So that's probably why you're getting a little bit of a offset there on the figure. I mean, even when we compare the Bats figure, but for all those out there that want a, you know, like this head sculpt, it might fit and look better on the one that Hasbro just did. So that might work. But the whole point is to have fun with the figures. I mean, you take the hooded Cobra Commander here, and sorry for the poor lighting, but should actually. But you take the hooded Cobra Commander, his head fits on this body perfectly, and that just looks like a stunning figure. Like, wow. Now maybe, you know, down the line we'll get the ball joint head, but I mean, you know, we went into the 2000s and we still had side to side, so again, that head sculpt would fit on some of those bodies too. The Cobra Trooper. And that was into those 2004s, 2005s. But anyways, the whole point is, it is cool we're getting new figures. Can Super7 do a little bit better? I would have to say. Hasbro's vintage figures, you know, the vintage G.I.Joe figures were thicker. Even later on, like in the line, they started thinning out the legs. And you know, when you looked at the new Cobra officers' legs, they were just pretty thin, and the mold is not the best for the leg mold. So the vintage figures by far were superior for the thickness. You know, you had a thicker legs. You know, nice. You know, you need that little extra plastic. The 90-degree bend. You know, no problem. This vintage figure, still tight. Now, from Super7, hopefully we're going to get some Cobra soldiers and officers, but they're going to have that, probably that Super7 head sculpt. More cartoon accurate, I would say. I mean, will we get, obviously, you know, the other Cobra Commanders. Again, the battle armor Cobra Commander is just a fantastic looking figure. But, you know, it would be nice to get some obscured figures in the line. But we all have to see how well they'll do in the line. And again, there's always, you know, if you're not satisfied fully with Super7 figures, you can have fun with them, you know. Play with your figures, switch the parts around. Like, this is awesome. I love this. This looks like a Cobra agent now. You know, CoverGirl looks great like this. And again, this is still in the 2000s, so the legs are, well, so-so. Not so bad. Compared to some of the stuff we just got from Hasbro, and I'm talking it is bad. Even Sartan's legs, like, you know, you think these legs seem a little thicker, so Super7 can take a note, but they're doing something weird. It's like they're just not functioning properly here. So, and this is a brand new figure. Look at his legs are like a little off. So they definitely got the legs wrong on this figure. And this is a company that used to make figures. So from what I've seen so far, the Sergeant Slaughter Transformer crossover, Sergeant Slaughter looks good. Hopefully they got the legs right with those figures. But you know, Super7's got to beef up the legs on their figures, because they're kind of like the 82 to 84 type versions. I mean, we have a broken Stalker here. Stalker had a shelf injury. He fell off the shelf. So we'll take the legs, for example, just compare them to a vintage. You can definitely see the boot size, you know, just a touch smaller, and that thickness, you know, that's everything in the figure. And then we compare it to Hasbro's little tiny feet. Almost looks like, yeah. So they pretty much copied something Hasbro did. Tiny feet. Got the tiny feet syndrome. So again, you know, we get great figures. We're getting O-ring figures from Super7, Hasbro, and all the other waves. Call sign Longbow. You know, Delta 17. Now with all the trade wars going on in China, I don't even know if we'll get Operation Recall or, geez, call sign Longbow, you know. But hopefully something happens. But I would definitely move your figures out to like a Vietnam or somewhere else, because China's cut off all trade with America pretty much. That kind of sucks. Now I do love talking about figures, and I do, you know, we did talk about the Snake Eyes is not jet black, and that's throwing off the figure. And just the tiny legs. The legs are just a little too thin, but they do function pretty nice. I mean, they don't do this as well, but you can still stretch them. So again, he's got thick in the crotch, but you know, just this will wear and rub. But that's on some of the Joe figures, but they tend to move smooth. But it's kind of neat. So you could probably use his crotch piece on a vintage type figure. I mean, it is pretty similar when you compare, so it's not bad sculpting, but they still need to, you know, critique it a little bit. So I'm still kind of, you know, excited. We're getting G.I.Joe figures. You know, a Ramar looks more like a He-Man figure if we're gonna get a Ramar. So could be interesting. You're gonna get your Arnold Schwarzenegger. Jeez, Conan. But the bats, you know, out of all the figures that I love the bats, and that's, I'm probably gonna just convert this back to the regular one that just came for Super7, but I just wanted to see if the crotch piece fit. So I might just order one for a crotch piece for my parts. It'll be cheaper than trying to buy the vintage piece, unless someone wants to donate. That was the longest running joke on the channel, was no one donated. But you know, Steve and Ken from Toy Connections, Delta 17, they actually donated. But you know, I just enjoy talking about Delta 17 figures as well as G.I.Joe. So you know, it was kind of nice. And I will be giving back to the community. But you know, we're kind of waiting on the call sign Longbow figures. But again, with all the turmoil going on, are we gonna get them? So the contest might have to be delayed longer, or maybe I'll just have a random giveaway throughout the winter. Because again, I only make so much money in the winter, so I feed 6 cats. I got 4 daughters here and 1 at the X. So again, everything is expensive. Everything costs money. You can only buy so much, as well as still trying to collect your vintage figures. But I love collecting, and I hope you out there enjoy it as well. Now, in the comments down below, let me know, do you love this bats? I don't mind it. Oh, we lost a weapon. Like I said, I got tons of weapon strays. There's a weapon stray here. Lots of weapons. More weapons down here. Missiles. Parts, figures. Anyways, getting a little off track there. I don't mind the bats. It's not so bad. I'm kind of enjoying it. Would I get more bats in the future? Hell yeah. Love the army builders. Love the fact that we actually have a chance now to army build in a line. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of things like, if I even, man, if we get Cobra soldiers and officers, I'm going to get like 60 soldiers and another 20 officers or 30. And Crimson Guards, maybe 50. I just want to build the army, and then it's going to be a fantastic collection. Wow, because you can build it for these prices. It's not so bad. It's like half the price of what you'd pay for a vintage figure. Same with the Vipers. If they did come out with the 86 head, you gotta have the 86 head. You know, we need that Viper. Even Black Major Customs makes Vipers. Blue Major. Is it Blue Major or Black Major? I think it's Black Major. Don't know if they changed. Blue Major. Huh. That is from a Black Major Custom, so you never know. But overall, the bats, you know, both hands come off, so that's one improvement there. The chest sculpt, I kind of love it. But I do love our vintage. You could put a sticker over this one. But you can see, it is a touch smaller, like our other bats is thicker. Vintage is thicker. Oh, there goes the dominoes. Just compute. It happens. But anyways. Tell me what you would like to see in the line and what you're most excited about. I'm most excited about army building. And next year will be awesome for army building. And in the meantime, I will try to army build bats, pick up a few here and there. And you know, you have to have money to pay FedEx online, or it becomes an issue because they don't do CODs. They don't take your legal tender, which is kind of strange. Didn't like that. Had to wait an extra week till I got paid again. So anyways, the things they could change and fix, yes, we'll probably get a Tiger Force Snake Eyes, but he should have been jet black. This guy likes more like Snake Eyes. And we're still fighting that cold. And as you can see, I'm not as excited, or this figure would have come out of the package. But I do love the packaging, and I'd like to keep a figure in the package, or maybe even give it away. You too can experience this. Yeah, you just don't have the movement, son. Oh, I love his sword though. I do love his sword. It's kind of thick. It's like a Lego sword almost. I never get time to play. Man, I wish I had time to play. Oh, too many kids. Anyways, thanks for watching. Remember, keep on collecting cobras!